motherfucking fingers.
We're live. How's it going, man?
It's going good, guys. How are you guys doing? Who you sitting down with there, J-Dub?
Well, you ever heard of finding alley cats somewhere just in the dumpster? So I was downtown and ran into a couple of prostitutes, and this guy was right next to him. So I was like,
"Oh, I thought you say I was selling myself." I mean, I might have been trying to make extra money.
I respect
right,
you.
Right.
I respect you.
Don't hate the hustle.
I just don't get too close.
Yeah.
Herpes does jump, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's airborne.
It's airborne.
Cash first.
Well, we're BOTH, Brotherhood of the Herpes.
Of the herps.
Yes, of the herps.
The HIV.
The HIV. So everyone, welcome. We have today a special guest. Well, every guest is special.
Every guest is special.
Mm-hmm.
The one, the only.
The man, the myth, the legend.
And one only Brian.
Sure.
So
CH Bigfoot.
That's it.
So yes, you are the rep for
Crown Heads.
Crown Heads.
Yes.
I knew that.
You sure you remember my name?
It starts with an S. Something like that. So what are you smoking, Brian?
I am smoking the 2016 Las Calaveras, which is smoking very well right now.
That was a really great year for that cigar. That I think the 14, the 16, and the 17 blew me away.
Well, I tell you, if you have any, the 15s right now are actually smoking unbelievable as well. But the 16s with this age on it is just next level. It's really good.
Yeah. So, and I'm smoking the Club Morena from Bespoke Cigars, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to Gabe Cigar Point, who's also a BFF of Brian.
Yes, saw him today.
Oh,
saw the whole family there today.
Really nice.
Dad, Mom, Gabe,
Nice
everybody
family.
was there. Yep.
So, tell me what you've been up to, man. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Man, it's been the road life for a while. It's I do have a new territory. I used to cover Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Biloxi, Mississippi, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska. I lost Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, kept Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, picked up all of Mississippi and Alabama. So instead of going vertical, I'm kind of going west to east.
You're a straight up. You're a road dog.
Oh yeah. It's been like that this is my 15th year as a rep. I've gone from 4 states to as many as 9, and now back to 6. So I'm used to windshield time.
So, how many miles do you put in a truck normally on a yearly basis?
Oh man, I think last year it was 53,000 miles
In 1 year?
in 1 year.
Wow!
Yeah.
How many dumpsters have you run?
Yeah, not just one.
Just one.
I've killed 3 deer on the road.
3D.
I've hit 3 deer. The truck's been broken into. The trucks that I've owned been broken into in the past 14 and a half, 15 years, 4 times. And cracked several windshields, many a flat tire, just you name it, it's happened.
Wow. I mean, if you average it out, right, 52 weeks in a year, 53,000 miles, you're over 1,000 miles a week.
Right. Yeah. It's when you leave New Orleans at 10:30 at night, you decide not to spend the night and just drive home. That's an 8.5 hour drive. So it's it's a lot of windshield time, a lot of cigars. Every trip's measured by how many cigars it takes me to get there.
How many do you smoke on a normal basis? On a day?
On a day without events, or if I'm not driving to somewhere, about 5 or 6. If it's a day that I'm driving and have an event that night, it's 10 or 11.
Wow.
My record's 17.
Oh, wow.
I think I did that in jury.
That's a 22-hour period, 17 and 22 hours, yeah.
I think I did maybe 8 in jury. And the next day, couldn't taste it.
Yeah.
It's just not about that life.
My record, I left Lubbock, Texas at 8 a.m., drove to San Antonio, did an event at Club Humidor, finished up, drove to Tyler, Texas for a buddy's birthday party, Left Tyler, Texas, pulled into my driveway at 6 a.m. with my 17th cigar, about right there, tossed it out the window, slept till 2 o'clock that Saturday, and got up and lit another one and kept on going.
That's dude. Yeah, you're a road dog. Like that's impressive.
Like Jerry says, everybody wants to do it, but
Right.
it's not.
Hey, if you like to drive, then yeah, you might like it. Yeah.
You make more money as a trucker.
No, actually, you might. I could get my CDL pretty easily, I think.
Pretty easily, right? No, but you do have your pilot's license, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that. Oh, whoa. What are we drinking, Brian? What are we drinking?
Shall I show it?
Show it. What did you crack open?
As we talk about flying, let's show what alcohol we're drinking.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, you guys must have had some drinks at dinner. J-Dub didn't even ask me what I was smoking. I wasn't going to say anything.
We kind of cut you off, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
Hey, JP, what are you smoking?
I'm actually, so I was like, I should smoke a Crown Heads. And he's like, no, J-Dub's like, no, you don't have to. And I'm like, the only Crown Heads I have left right now, I think I have 2 or 3 of the last Cal 14s left.
Oh, wow.
I smoked through, yeah, like I believe at one point myself and Evan knows we must have gone through 2 or 3 boxes apiece. But yeah, sorry, little side story. I'm smoking a Chromag Anthropology. Oh, yeah, camera's over there. And I got that
The camera,
Laggy Gulen 16.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, just changed the camera setup today, so I'm still staring at the laptop, but I know the camera's over here now. But
so when we talk,
we gotta look right here.
Over there. That's right like this.
We would not make it on a reality TV show. Or no, we would be good because we're not staring at the camera ever.
Right.
Who would you sleep with first if we were in a reality TV show, him or I?
You, because you're closer.
Suck it, JP. Suck it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that upset about it.
No, what I mean, it's quite a distance from me to you, but you could also fly. There's an airport near my house.
Oh, there you go. And that's tempting. The fact that I could do that. Yeah.
I could wave you in like that. A couple flashlights out on the runway.
So,
but you guys are drinking scotch, right? So you a big scotch guy, Brian? Or you bourbon, or what's your pour?
Almost anything brown. So scotch, bourbon. I'm a big fan of Pierre Franc cognac, dark rum. So yeah, any brown liquid is good with me.
cheers to that, man. So how's this drinking?
Yeah, cheers, guys.
This is pretty damn good. It's been a while since I've had 18. That's delicious.
We're gonna follow up with something that I like better than you, and just as soon as you're done with that. So,
oh, here, let me hurry.
Take a shot.
shot.
Mm-hmm.
You got any Coke?
Get out.
Get out, yeah. Right. See you guys.
Dude, seriously.
Oh, so you want to mix that with the Johnny Red?
Right.
All right. We have a bunch of random questions that a lot of the listeners submitted this week.
Okay.
How random do you want to get? It's not really cigar related. It is, but it isn't, I guess. I mean,
you asking me?
You and J-Dub. What do you guys think?
I'm okay with
yeah,
that.
it
As
is.
long as it's a good question.
Yeah, as long as it's a good question.
All right, I got to pull it up on the Instagram. Oh, one sec. Switch accounts.
Have you ever heard of our show? No, you haven't.
I did because I caught part of it on when you were live streaming either Instagram or Facebook, and you mentioned that you should have me on. Yeah,
and
so
you said yes.
Yep, and here I am.
And here you are.
Wow,
it only took a $200 bottle.
that's all it took. And by the way, this is sponsored by Crown Heads. I get to keep the bottle.
Oh, hey, it's. I mean, J-Dub.
He said it. I didn't say it. He said it, right?
I could help you out, but I could also help him out. I mean, you could edit that out, but I mean, do you want to? You could just keep playing that on loop.
Yeah, right.
You play that and just wait for the money, and when it doesn't come, you have a good lawyer, right?
As far as you know, I do. Yeah.
Like, where's my?
Oh.
I'll get paid in color.
Oh, you said I thought sponsorship was like maybe a box of cigars or something.
Yeah, that's. Hey, you know what? 2016s, when you offered me a whole box today of 2016,
I offered you a cigar, not a box.
So go ahead, man.
All right, what's the first question?
All right, first question is going to be cigar related. This is from Cigar. Should I say the name who asked the question?
Sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Some of them are guests. Some of them are just really big listeners of the show. Cigar analogies. Smoking on the crapper. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I am on it. Well, the only time I do that is when I bomb my customers' shops. So thumbs up. Yes. Because it hides the smell. I mean, what are you going to do?
I'm agreeing with you on that. I mean, there's been a couple cigar shops where it's like, you know, you get coffees going, you get that.
Oh yeah, coffee and a cigar. It's a laxative.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh man, and then it's like, fuck it, I'm taking my cigar. So you take your cigar, you sit there, and you're like,
I don't want to relight this.
I might as well smoke it a bit, and it's just like, this is relaxing. So I'm a thumbs up on that. What about you, J-Dub?
Oh
no,
probably because you've never done it.
I've never done it.
Okay, well then.
Yes, you're right. I've never done it, but I'm a somewhat OCD / germophobic. So,
all right.
And this thing that I've heard all the time from people is that shit particles are all over the place.
Right. So I've used a hand dryer and it just blows shit air all over.
And I'm just like, and I'm probably again just hypochondriac at the same time.
Sure.
I'm like, if I'm puffing a cigar, I'm sure it feels great. I'm sure, but I'm at the same time in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm inhaling. It
adds a bit of earthiness to the cigar. It's amazing.
Shit. So yeah, that's another
bit nutty, bit earthy.
Yeah. Nutty. Yeah.
Cigar crap reviews on cigars. I can tell you that. And it's because I know what I ate before, right? So,
I hold a cigar with my left hand and I wipe with my right.
So there you go.
Yeah, I
see.
Totally sanitary.
Yeah, I mean. So.
I guess technically that was cigar related.
Yeah.
Cigar related.
Actually, another cool fact. Have you guys ever smoked on an elevator?
No.
I think I've held not physically smoked, but I've held a lit cigar in my hand while I was on an elevator. Does that count?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That was the first time I've smoked on a. We were in the middle of Pennsylvania. Big Mooch, Ray, and G-Rock were in Penn State area, and we're going through a parking garage, and like, let's take the elevator down. We're like, we're all smoking. Big Mooch is like, who cares? So literally, there's like 5 of us sitting on an elevator, standing there, burning cigars, and there's random people getting in on the elevator, and we're just holding our cigars by our side. Nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything.
Yeah, it's just, Ray and G-Rock are there, so who's going to say anything?
Well, when I worked for CAO back when the Osgoner family owned it, at the twice a year at the sales meeting and at the IPCPR trade show, we'd always have a rep poker tournament. So we stayed at the Venetian, and we got a smoking room, and the Venetian had a poker tournament in that room. So you imagine 14 guys, and even as big as the rooms are at the Venetian, smoking cigars in that room. The game ended, and I think I had just lit a cigar, and we were going to go down by the pool and finish smoking. So I just held it on the elevator for 35 floors and got out and went to the pool and finished it.
That's awesome. That's cool. Nat Sherman in New York City, they have an elevator.
I was going to say, yeah.
And that was the first elevator. I was there with Mo and KC. And I was like, I'll take the stairs because we're going to go on an elevator. And they're like, no, you can smoke in the elevator here. And I'm like, well, I have to do this. I physically and I'm puffing on it as hard as I can in this elevator. And I'm smoking on an elevator. 20 minutes later, we almost got kicked out of Nat Sherman for drinking. So.
I'm sure that's happened a couple of times.
Yeah. Not in a cigar shop, never.
Not in a cigar shop.
Nope.
What's the worst that's happened to you at a cigar shop? It's a good question.
What do you mean, worse what?
Funniest, worst things. I don't know. Talking about getting kicked out of places. Cringe-worthy moment at cigar shops, because I know you're there all the time.
Man, I'm gonna have to think on that. I can't recall anything. Just I know there's been some weird stuff, but
Weird.
give me a minute on that one. I'll have to.
It's all good. Next question.
All right, next question.
Oh, I've got one, but go ahead.
No, you go.
You sure? All right. So this this actually happened. Brand new hire at CAO. I'm a month into the job. I do my first CAO event at this shop that was out of business now, but it was in Irving, Texas. And I'm at the shop. I get set up, and the first guy walks through the door. And I'm all over him. Hey, I'm a CAO. We're doing an event. And you want to buy some cigars? And the guy bought a CAO Italia, if you remember those, the CAO Italias.
Yep, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have one.
So
It's an experiment we
Right there.
did, by the way.
he's the only one, other than employees, he's the only one in the store. So he sits down in a chair, he cuts it, and he lights it. And I'm going to give him some space, let him smoke it for a little bit, and then ask him, what do you think about the cigar? So I give him about 15 minutes to walk up to him and say, hey, how's the cigar smoking? And he literally looked at me. He goes, this cigar reminds me of I'm sitting at home in my favorite chair. I've got a blanket in my lap, and I'm petting my cat. And I looked at him. I said, is that a good thing? He goes, oh, it's wonderful. I'm like, thank you very much. And I ran into the humidor. I'm like, are they all going to be like this? What have I gotten into? I can't handle this. This is weird. Is this how all the descriptions are?
Yeah. I mean, that's. Yeah. I mean, I don't think my cat would even sit near me if I was smoking a cigar.
No.
No, I don't. I think, I don't know. I mean, definitely you building memories with cigars, but I don't know if it takes me back places.
I had a guy, and you hear everything at events. You hear the guy that only smokes Cubans or mispronounces every name or tries to tell you that he can taste what kind of wrapper it is, and he names 5 different wrappers and they're all wrong. So you hear that all the time. But I had a new one happen to me about a month ago. A guy walked up to me. He was smoking one of our Jericho Hills, and he's holding a cigar,
Good cigars.
and he's pointing to the seam in the cigar where it's rolled. He goes, Jericho Hill, rolled to my father factories, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's rolled to my father. He goes, I can tell by the way the seam goes into the cap. I think Luce rolled this cigar.
What?
And I went, who? He goes, that's the way Luce, the way she goes from seam to cap. I go, are you telling me that you're looking at my cigar, and by the way it's rolled, you're going to tell me what roller rolled it? He goes, yeah, that's. I'm like, go away. I can't talk to you right now. That's insanity.
The owner would even notice that? Or,
I don't think Don Pepin could look at a cigar and go, oh, yeah, that one right there rolled it. No, I don't think so.
Classic trademark. Classic trademark.
If I rolled cigars, you could definitely tell.
Oh, if I rolled a cigar, you'd be like, oh, and McGee did that.
It didn't look like a cigar. It was like a penis.
How'd you know?
It's definitely. Oh, man. Yeah, that's.
Favorite pro wrestler of all time.
Oh, you want to go take that one first?
No, because I've never gotten into WWF, WCW.
Well,
Not even back in the day.
Not even back in there. Nah. Oh, wait. Remember, I grew up in a different time and a different place than you guys.
Okay.
Luchadors, remember?
Luchadors, yeah.
Luchadors. You remember the Luchadors from a few years back? I grew up with Mexican wrestling. So
Right.
yes, I do.
Everybody had a mask.
Everybody has. I have a mask somewhere in here, which El Santo, which translates to saint, silver mask. That's everybody's favorite.
All right,
He's like the top guy. And yes, I did have that growing up. Yes.
Well, growing up in the Dallas area, the great Dallas Sportatorium, we used to go watch the Von Erichs wrestle.
The Von Erich.
Kerry, Kevin, Fritz, the Iron Claw, the Von Erich, David, the Von Erich brothers were, and that Ric Flair would come through, and the place would just ignite. I mean, it was a sight to be seen.
That's awesome. Those guys are basically they're like the Texas version how Canada has the Hearts.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I was young. I was huge into wrestling, and I mean up until grade 9, I would argue to the death of things of no, wrestling is real.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
It's real. And then
It's real to me.
Yeah.
Video.
WCW, WWE, WWF, all of them. I was for the longest time I was a big fan.
Oh
But I grew up with the Von Erichs, Kabuki, Gentleman Chris Hart, Gary Hart, King Kong Bundy,
What's the guy that's local?
Junkyard Dog.
There's a guy there was a wrestler, Hart, something that's from San Antonio.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't
Something Hart. I don't know. He grew up near San Antonio, so he was big here around here or whatever.
Yeah, Ric Flair is obviously the Ultimate Warrior. I was a big fan of.
I'd have to say Ric Flair or Ultimate Warrior or Macho Man.
Yeah. Oh,
Or even Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake.
I mean, they're those guys are classics, right?
I don't know if you've seen it, but the 30 for 30 ESPN did on Ric Flair is amazing.
Yes,
That
it
was
is actually phenomenal. It's like how he acts. His wife straight up says it's like no,
that's him.
It's and then he just never got out of that persona. Like he just continued it on. He actually did. We have CFL football in Canada. It's Canadian Football League. It's fucking brutal. It's brutal. But the stadium near my house, he did an appearance at and did some like halftime announcing. Hammered out of his mind.
Oh, of course.
Hammered out of his mind.
Of course. Was he dressed?
Oh yeah.
Apparently, he liked to walk around naked too, especially on airplanes.
Now, we do have the AAF here.
Yes,
And
the
we
new
have-
newly formed that almost went bankrupt. AAF.
Hey, I watched the game, the San Antonio against Orlando.
Yeah, I watched that.
Where the guy got carried out as a
Yeah.
stretcher, and I was like, well, that's why we have safeties, them safety rules now.
Mhm.
But it was fun. It was legit fun. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about getting into it, seriously, because they're local, but
I want to see how
it's
that
fun.
competes against the XFL when that comes back out.
XFL's not coming back, is it?
Yeah, next year.
Really?
Dallas is getting a team.
Wow.
Yeah,
They
2020.
just hired Mike Stoops from Oklahoma to be the head coach.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, it was fun because there's like no breaks like you do. There's no kickoffs,
Right.
and it was just back-to-back plays. It was
Yep.
awesome. I'm like, man, these guys are probably more fit than the ones in the NFL, the linemen at least, because they have to be back-to-back.
Talking about the AAF. Just before I hopped on with you guys, I was just scrolling through Instagram, and they already had a best hits of the AAF on Instagram. Every hit, the guy getting hit, his helmet was like 30
Flying
feet
up.
away.
Yeah.
Like
There's no roughing the passer in the AFL.
Oh,
no. Like guys are getting touchdowns and clearly like already 6 steps in the end zone. Oh, train hitting them, and it's just like wow. And little unnecessary roughness call. That's it. Like, yeah, that's it's something I hope they expand with the teams with a lot. Just to that would be I would be totally into that. And I mean, just as far as how they offset the seasons and everything.
gives us it gives us the
Greatness.
season's greatness.
Heck, you got that, and then I got the Bills right there. I mean, I don't. As far as being I'm a Bills tailgating fan.
There you go. Do you slam people? Speaking of wrestling, do you partake in the body slams on the tables at the Bills tailgate?
A lot of the lots where you could tailgate ban tables from there.
Yeah, they won't let them do it anymore.
Yeah. There's still a few lots that do it, but it's crazy. They search you at coming into the lot looking for tables. But yeah, all right. We'll move on to the next question. What do we got here? This is actually not so much a good question for me, but for you two guys. Jacob's my boy, my good friend Ronnie asks, why do some flavor profiles change with different vitolas?
You know what? That is a perfect question for you.
Yeah, because I'm a tobacco expert.
No. Because, you know what I'm going to say it. Yellow Rose
Mm-hmm.
and Tennessee Waltz.
Smoke totally different in their same blend.
Perfect. You know,
Yep.
okay, I'm going to let you have it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ring gauge has a lot to do with that. And a lot of people that I've talked to at factories and things like that. So let's say a company's going to come out with a line of cigars. Well, all the test blends are like either Corona Gordas or Robustos that they smoke until they find the one they like. And that's it. All right, that's the blend. So they take that Robusto and they blend it up into a Toro and they blend it down into a Corona Gorda. Now, from a 46 to a 52 ring gauge, if you can tell the difference, then you've got a palate much greater than me. But if you go from a 46 to a 60 to a 70 to an 80, unless you're Ernie that purposely blends big ring gauge cigars, there will be a difference. If you smoke a Lancero in a blend and smoke, because the filler is really there to control the burn and to add strength to the cigar. The flavor comes from the wrapper. And the bigger the ring gauge, the more wrapper leaf you lose. And that's why when customers shop at a store and they're not cigar geeks, right, which we are, but they look at a Lancero that's, let's say, $9.95, and they look at a 6x60 that's $9.95. Like, well, I get more bang for my buck for the 660. The Lancero is just a girl cigar, right? Is their reasoning. What they don't know is that Lancero is blended, and you taste all wrapper leaf, the star of the cigar.
How many times have I said that?
Yeah.
That I prefer the flavor in a cigar, even when the cigar canoes and it's all wrapper.
Yeah.
And I'm lighting it up, geek out, because that's you got just a big
that pure wrapper head.
Wrapper on that initial light up. So, but yeah, and some people are saying, oh, there's not much flavor in the wrapper, but
the wrapper's all the flavor.
It's a lot of.
I do a little trick at events. So like what is that, Ecuadorian Habano?
Good question. It's my first.
Okay, so
I had this one, so I don't know.
What I'll do is I'll have a customer buy a cigar. Let's say it's one of our Luminosas. That's a Connecticut shade wrapper. I'll take a 4 Kicks Maduro. I'll take the wrapper off of it and let them get about a quarter inch into the cigar, and just tell me is it mild, medium, full? Are you tasting anything? What does it taste like? And then I'll put the wrapper from the 4 Kicks Maduro on the Luminosa. So now that's the wrapper of the cigar, and that wrapper that was on there becomes the binder. And as soon as they take a puff, it's immediately a different cigar, because that 4 Kicks Maduro wrapper then takes over. And so I let them smoke it, and they're like, wow, that's amazing. This is completely different. It's stronger. It tastes different. And then I take that wrapper off and hand it back to them, and they smoke it. And it's like, it's a cigar I was just smoking a minute ago. So that's how I show how much flavor the wrapper gives a cigar. Yeah.
And you can score it with the with one of those Zycar, right? You can score the.
Yeah. What I do is I take a cigar and I put it in a lot of waters just so the wrapper stays pliable. And I just it's ugly, but I just take it off, and then I dry it, and I put the cigar on it, and I just roll it back on and let them. Yeah, but you can do the scoring too and do it that way.
Yep.
That's cool.
Perfect question for him, because I don't know if you guys ever have had it, but like I said, Tennessee Waltz, one of my favorite Crown Head cigars, and the Yellow Rose is good, but
the Yellow Rose is a box press torpedo, and the Tennessee Waltz is a round Robusto. Yeah.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's definitely I mean, I'm a Lonsdale man myself, I'd have to say, because it's like a Lancero, but it gives me a little bit more longer burning time. But I find Lanceros are sort of finicky. Not finicky, but like you can't sit it down for too long, because then it burns itself out, right? Because you don't have the filler in it to keep it burning longer.
And it's such a hard shape to roll that you can get one that's it's just, that's why only master rollers roll Lanceros, because to get the draw right. It's so difficult to roll something that small.
There you go.
All right.
I am, man. Jeez. Here.
Ooh, did I give it away already?
What is it? Next question is from.
We're gonna kill that.
17 time. All right. Emoji Stogies asks, fuck, marry, kill.
That almost came through my nose.
That's
where all the flavors are.
is.
Ooh, that was a little Whataburger spicy ketchup right there.
This actually, I think, is going to be a reoccurring question, but we can really use it with anything. All right. Fuck, marry, kill. Arturo Fuente, Davidoff, and Padron. He said,
wow.
Fuck, marry, kill, high-end brands.
Man, I love all of them. How do you... I couldn't even kill any of them.
Can I have a threesome?
Yeah, can I just marry and fuck all of them?
Yeah, I'll become a Mormon just for that. I would become a Mormon.
Man,
Marry all three of
to
them.
kill either one of those would be just... Couldn't live with myself.
I mean, I'm not a huge Davidoff fan, but I don't know if I'd kill them.
No.
But I would, if I had to answer that, I would say definitely kill Davidoff. What is it? Fuck, marry, kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck Fuente and marry Padron.
Yes, that's exactly what I would do. Marry Padron, because you can't go wrong with
Yeah.
Padron. Except
No,
for the
yeah.
Damasos. Have you had the Damasos? Yeah. See, I'm not crazy about them. But
Yeah,
the
but
rest of
Fuente's got curly head. I mean, what are you going to do with that?
Fuente has like...
Sell a shitload of them. That's what you're going to do.
But Fuente, I would say, yeah, Fuente, you know this, and I think you agree with me on this one, is I don't smoke them fresh right out of the box. I age them a couple of years, and they're phenomenal.
I still have 2 original year 1 Don Carlos.
DC?
Wow.
I used to have a lot more stuff until my apartment got broken into back in the day, and they opened my humidor and snapped every cigar in half. I had original year 1 Padron 64s, year 1 Opus X, year 1 Hemingways, and they stole all my CDs, DVDs, snapped all my cigars in half, and threw pipe tobacco all over my... Oh, dude, I cried. I cried.
That's just evil. Man.
Yeah, that's malicious. Like that.
I'd rather them stole them and smoked them than doing that. That took me a while to get over. Just stuff I can't replace.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? When you age cigars, it's like you're letting it be,
right? But
and it's like,
the fact they were the first release, how do you replace first release? So what would your order be? Who would you fuck, marry, kill?
I honestly, I have to agree with J-Dub. I think just because I've always had a crush on Jess Padron.
That's what everybody does, especially Jerry.
Oh, you made that video.
Yeah, I made that video.
I told you about the video where Jess Padron, and you asked Jerry about that.
Oh,
right?
that J-Dub submitted a question to the Jerry show, and he's like, "Fucking J-Dub asked that, didn't he?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Brian is the one that actually
we were at the Padron offices, and I said, "Can you do me a huge favor? One of your stalkers."
Yeah, so she made a video. For those that didn't listen to our show, shame on you, but she did a video. Jess Padron did a video to Jerry.
Please leave me alone.
Please leave me. Stop stalking me.
Stop stalking me.
Funny thing is that she didn't say, "Hey Jerry."
No, nothing.
She goes, "Hey golfer 6'5",
243
39er. Can you stop stalking me?"
That's awesome.
He died, man. He kept that video. I'm sure he still has it.
He probably still has it.
Yeah.
I believe he said he still has it. I'm pretty sure he said he still had it on the interview.
He's too sensitive to delete it.
I'm sure he kept him warm many nights.
All right. Next question. Cigar related, but drink related. If you could, this is from Paul Double Down, aka 79. If you could choose one cigar pairing for a year when smoking cigars, would you pick beer or coffee? Any kind of beer, stout, porter, whatever.
For the longest time, it would have been beer, but now for me, it's coffee. It would be coffee.
Coffee for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee, 100%.
Yeah, I find coffee it's going to be flawless every time, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and beer. I mean, yeah, there's so many beers.
There's so many beers that are just overpowered. No matter what cigar you're smoking, all you're going to taste is the beer.
Yeah.
Plus, my palate changes with beer. There was a time where I was nothing but sours. A few years where it's nothing but sours.
Mhm.
Before that, it was a couple of years of IPAs. And
Right.
I'm into stouts.
Stouts,
So
yep.
it just changes. So no, definitely coffee. It's go-to. And the beans change, and there's a lot of flavor in
Yep.
different beans. Because we do our own beans here. We grind our own beans, and
Yeah.
we do French press. My wife makes it. So shout out to my wife. Makes me French press coffee every day. Don't be jealous.
Yeah, I've got a Chemex. I got a brewer that brews at 200 degrees. I've got a French press. So, yeah, coffee would be it.
Yeah. And I mean, well, if you're like me or J-Dub, you smoke, there's times I could do 2 beers to a cigar. So if I'm sitting down and I'm smoking 5, 6 cigars, yeah.
You're not standing up.
Yeah, it gets pretty bad sometimes. But all right, another question from the same guy. I guess Brian said it. This episode is sponsored by Crown Heads. So
It is. I got
why do
one
you-
cigar out of it. I'll send you half of it.
Yeah,
next
right.
month.
Enjoy.
Sure.
3 shots of it. Why do so many people in this cigar community think it's okay to ask for free shit from cigar companies? You probably get that all the time, J-Dub.
Yeah, we don't have enough time.
Well, there's moochers everywhere, right?
It's
we talked about earlier.
I'll give them credit for being creative sometimes, but yeah, it's I so you told me you were in the IT world.
Sure.
I've never asked a guy for a free laptop, or go as well. I'll tell you, what do you do for a living? I'm a mechanic. Well, fix my truck. I'll give you. You don't do that with any other industry, other than I'm sure when they're doing liquor samples or something like that.
Sure.
Actually, you'd be surprised. I asked J-Dub for IT advice like at least 6 times a day, and he gets it to me.
But I guess it just, when I walk into a store and the guy goes, "Oh my God, Cigar Rep, I get a free cigar today," or
Yeah.
how I know the best one is, how do I know I'm going to like your cigar unless I smoke it first? I'm like, I'll tell you what, go buy one and then I'll give you one. Don't give me a one-on-one, which you don't even get at events.
Right.
Show me a little love and I'll show you a little love.
Right.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, and I mean there's you see it all the time on Instagram, especially, where it's just I mean, from I guess from an outsider looking in, the way I see some people go at some of you, it's like you guys are almost harassed.
Yeah. Well, we were at a shop today I was with Kenny. Guy was sitting at the counter, and we walked in, and he goes, "Yes." And Kenny just stopped and said, "Hey, I'm Kenny with Esteban Carreras." And the guy held onto his hand and didn't let go of it, and started pulling him closer and started reaching for his cigar case. He goes, "You could just leave that right here." And I'm assuming the guy was half joking,
yeah.
but they can get pretty aggressive sometimes. And when you tell them the FDA doesn't allow it anymore,
Right,
they
so
just
I
look
was
at you
gonna say-
like you're an idiot because you're just saying that and you don't want to give me a cigar.
Right, but I was gonna say, are you using that now?
Yeah.
or-
Oh, yeah. I would love to give you one, but the FDA prevents me from, which is true.
Yeah, it's true.
I can give cigars to employees and owners of licensed tobacco stores.
But you didn't give me a cigar. I bought it from
You did. You bought a
I
cigar.
bought a
Or if you
cigar.
buy a cigar because you made a purchase, I can then thank you by giving you another one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's that's how we get away with it in Canada, right? Because you can't provide alcohol or tobacco for free. So when they do cigar events in Canada, it's buy 5, get 1 for a penny.
Ah, okay. Okay.
There has to be some sort of exchange in it's not free.
Don't they do a lot of like cigar dinners in Canada so they build in the cost of the cigars into the dinner?
Yeah, and I mean you end up the price of cigars in Canada is just a joke. So it's like you end up getting what should be a $20 dinner, it now is like a $70 fucking dinner. And you get one cigar. Like it's, I mean, you support cigars in Canada, like a shop in Canada, you're mainly supporting the government.
Right.
So it's, I mean, I'm lucky enough to live as close as I do to the border where I could just, boom, I'm 18 minutes from a good cigar shop in the States. I'll drive over there and I'll support a brick and mortar shop over there and give them my time and my money.
Yeah, one of the best ones was a guy walked up to me in a cigar. I don't even know this guy. I've never met him before. And he goes, "Hey, man, I'm going to a costume party, and I'm going as Tony Soprano, so I'm wearing a jacket. Give me 3 cigars. I'll put them in my breast pocket, and I'll advertise for you." That's always the greatest one that they'll advertise. I'm like, yeah. I go, if you go buy 3, I'll give you one, but I'm not giving you 3 cigars. And you know what? Look, take it from a cigar rep. There's guys like, I'm going to give a big shout out to a guy in Houston, Dion Foley. He loves our cigars.
I follow him on Instagram.
He constantly texting me or messaging me, "Look what I got." If I talk to him about something that we're about to ship them here. I'm buying 2 boxes at each place. You know what I do? I trip over myself to give that guy stuff. I give him every hat that I can give him. Whatever I got, I gladly give to him because he has never asked me for one thing ever. And all he does is show me, "Hey, look what I did. Look, I'm getting this. I just bought this box." And then he's like, "Man, these are great," or whatever. I love guys like Dion. They're unfortunately a dime a dozen. They're not. Everybody's like that. But guys like that, if you want a cigar rep to give you something, show like anybody, show us a little love, and we'll trip over ourselves to take care of you.
And that's. I mean, I'd honestly say it's something we strive for with this show. We're not looking for anything. It's just we want people to share their. You know what I mean? We get Crown Heads rep on, right? We're not looking for anything. We want to hear your experience. We want people to hear your experience, your knowledge, and just, share it with people. And you know what? If the people that truly listen to the show, they actually, they more so appreciate what J-Dub and the guest says more than me. But yeah, it's something that we do this because we want to do it. We're not looking for anything.
Right. But that's not what you said off the air. Oh, we'll talk about that later. I always tell people, look, I tell them that bottle out. Yeah, right. When they ask us for stuff, I'm like, hey, follow John Huber on Twitter and Instagram. He gives stuff away all the time. Go watch our YouTube channel. He gives stuff away all the time. That's the best way to get it, because I don't get half the stuff he gives away. Especially like the fitted hats and stuff. I might get one every couple of months. So I'm like, if you want something like that, follow John Hughes. You got a much greater chance of winning stuff than me ever being able to give it to you.
Yeah. So, good question. We always ask our guests, well, most of the time when we remember or not, when JP's not too drunk.
It hasn't fallen yet.
No, I'm sitting on a bar stool.
I've never seen him in person.
Is that a seatbelt?
I've never met JP.
No.
I can tell you when he's drunk.
Okay.
That's how much this guy and I talk pretty much every day. I can tell when he's drunk. And I gotta take over when he's drunk.
When he's drunk, right?
He's just like, so... No, I'm just kidding. But,
sorry.
There are times I'll listen to the podcast the next day. Like, I'll do the first couple minutes, middle minutes, and I'm like, damn, you know what? Yeah, I was slurring pretty good. But when the talking's good, the talking's good.
So, what are some of your pet peeves in the lifestyle or industry, whether it be shop owners or whether it be customers? We like to get everyone's perspective, not just cigar makers, not just, from the aficionado to the brokers, which we'll have soon, from the reps and the shop owners. We actually had an interview with Gabe one, which is hilarious. You know how Gabe is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest one obviously is what we just talked about. The over-aggressive guy trying to get a free sample. Man.
Come back to that one.
Well, I mean, so I won't mention any names. We'll change. But, I don't think, and, it's not bragging or anything, but I don't think a lot of shop owners realize the amount of travel. Even like we were talking about Paul Costa and how small his territory is. He still drives a lot. We bust his balls, but we're all on the road a lot.
Yeah.
So if we book an event, especially if we give a guy a Saturday that would normally be our day off, but we'll show up and do an event. We call it lazy retailer syndrome, where they don't promote it. They expect us to, bring the people, do everything, and they just kind of sit and watch. And, mainly it's a partnership. I'm successful because you're helping me. You're successful because I'm trying to help you. I don't sell just to leave you with stuff and then take off. I want to help you move it. So, keep the ball rolling. Right. But it's tough when you walk into an event and 12 people walk through the door and all 12 go, I didn't know there was anything going on tonight.
Yeah, they don't do their legwork for.
Yeah, that can be very, especially on a Friday night or Saturday, that's time you could be home. Because I literally, there's weeks I get home Saturday night at 11 o'clock. I've got Sunday afternoon. I'm already planning my next week. So I don't get a lot of free time. And so that's a big pet peeve of mine, definitely.
So if you're a cigar shop owner,
and majority, 98% of them, you don't have that problem.
Right.
But there's the ones that...
If you're going to set something up, make sure you...
do your part, because I'm going to do my part.
You should have an email list to your customers.
Right.
Likely. Send out an email and say, hey, this is what we're having. This is what we're having. These are the specials, right?
Yeah.
I know there's a local company, a local cigar shop here that does very well.
Right.
Get the emails all the time saying we're going to have Brian from Crown Heads.
Yeah, good guess.
Is that your name? Was that you? Oh, shit.
I mean, with that being said, right, like it's mainly up to the shop to promote it, right? You do work for I'd say one of the bigger cigar companies. Like your shit sells itself for the most part. Like it's not like a small company where it's like, you like there are some reps out there that are like trying to ram their cigars down your. Where it's like, oh shit, Crown Heads, oh yeah, boom. You know what I mean? Anytime I see Crown Heads in a shop, I'm grabbing, the Imperiosa. That's a $5 right there. I'm going to smoke through that in 2 weeks.
But, Crown, and my biggest problem is at events, 50% of the people come in, they've never heard of us. I mean, we are a bigger boutique company. We're doing very well, but we're not Rocky. We're not Fuente. We're not Davidoff. We're still, look, I'm employee number 6. We just hired employee number 7. We're still a tiny, small company. And it's, I struggle. My biggest hurdle is people don't know who we are. And that is definitely a struggle, especially at events or talking to some guy in a humidor. Have you tried Crown Heads? I don't even know. And as soon as they say, I don't even know who you are, they get that look like I don't even want to know, like don't waste your breath.
So do you find that they know the labels on the cigar more?
So I start with, hey, our stuff's made by Ernesto Perez, made by my father Pepin family. And usually they'll listen. But if they're looking and it didn't immediately catch their eye, well, then they're going to go back and buy what they came in to buy. And look, in Texas, for me, it's tough because we have Roma Craft, we have Southern Draw, any Black Label, everybody based in Texas. That's a huge boost for their customer. They know them because they're here. And for me, that's tough competition because they know Roma, they know Robert, and John doesn't travel and do events. So unless they know me or they've actually smoked Crown Heads before, then it's definitely it's hard. It's a hard sell sometimes.
You guys carry good stuff, and that's why I'm friends with you.
Yeah.
Is that too honest?
Too honest. Am I sharing too much?
You see me hanging out with the Rocky Patel reps?
Oh, I see you.
Do you see me at Rocky Patel's compound in Miami snorting cocaine off a bunch of random girls?
Look, but I'll tell you something.
Gurkha.
Back when it was Indian tobacco, Rocky Patel traveled 300 days plus a week. And he went out and drank with everybody. He closed every shop down. That man put some miles out there, and he built the brand. He and Nish Nimish. No, look, they are where they're at because of the blood, sweat, and tears of Rocky Patel. Yeah, he built it from nothing, and I will never badmouth Rocky Patel. People ask me. I'll give you another pet peeve. Consumers, shop owners, whoever, reps that frown upon flavored cigars. You might not personally. I don't personally smoke them. But I love the fact that Acid is in this business, that Tatiana, when I was with CAO Moontrance, because the guys smoking cigars, the pie is only so big. And those cigars get people into this industry. And it brings new smokers. We need more people smoking cigars.
Right. How many times have I said that, JP?
And if it's Acid that gets you in the door, if it's Tatiana, if it's Java, whatever the poison is, you can eventually get them to another cigar if that's your goal. But get them in and get them smoking.
Over and over. I don't smoke cigars. To me, they're not good cigars. But I appreciate their place in the business.
Yes. And when a guy talks to me about opening a store, I'll never carry flavors. I said, man, you will not make it. You might hate them. You have to have them on your shelf. I had this discussion with Jeff at 3Rs. He's like, do I really need to carry these? I'm like, brother, you might not personally smoke them. You got to have them on your shelf because you alienate so many people that might come in with somebody that does smoke a cigar and they might want to try something, but they want to try vanilla or they want to try something safe or that they perceive as safe. And if you don't have it, now they feel alienated in the cigar shop and they don't want to be there. And you never want to have that happen in a cigar shop.
That's how I got my wife to smoke.
Yeah.
I got a Java mint one time. It was a mint chocolate. She was like, oh, this is decent. I was like, okay. A few times after that, let me try your cigars. So like, oh, this is, now that she got the flavors. She's like, this is good. So now
get them started, however it is.
She doesn't smoke acids or those flavored cigars anymore. Shout out.
That's actual same story with my wife. When we go on vacation to some place, it's like, okay, I'll look at what cigar shops are around. And it's like, okay, I can get away and smoke one cigar, for an hour or two. She'll come with me and it's like, oh, they have a flavored cigar here in CAO Cherry Bombs. She loved. And then, the Java Mint, Drew Estate, she loved. And then I ended up getting her back in the day when they were still good, the Dirty Rats. She got really hooked on the Dirty Rats by Drew Estate. And it all goes back to it's the flavored cigars that got her hooked, which got me time to sit in a cigar shop where it's like, oh, hey, smoke a cigar.
Yeah, now you've got something to do with her, and you're not alienated. If you want to go smoke a cigar, but she doesn't smoke, just brings more people in, and that's
And at the end of the day, the Acid is one of the number one, or it was one of the number one sold cigars, right? Because that thing was sold everywhere,
right? Yeah, it's I think it's anybody that doesn't have them in their humidor is missing. And look, I tell people this all the time. When I worked at CAO, I was spoiled to death because Moontrance and all the flavors. That paid for my house. The flavors alone paid for my house.
That's awesome.
It's amazing, and I miss them daily. I love to have Moontrance back.
So, good question, man. CAO. How long ago was it when Esteban was?
2010, I believe, is when the sale went through and it ended up going to General. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2010.
Esteban was rolling Brazilias back in the day.
Yeah.
What year was it?
That was, I think, when it was still being made at the Toronto factories. So
possibly
2005 and
okay, so
forward.
a few years back.
Yeah.
So we did.
When I started in September 05, I think we were no longer using Perdomo and everything had moved to Toronto. I might be wrong in that, but I think we had transitioned everything to the Toronto side, if I'm remembering right.
Did that help? Because John was at CAO, right? So you met John there, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. So when CAO sold, because at the time of the sale, CAO, we were also distributing Toronto and Dunhill.
Mm-hmm.
And when CAO sold, I felt that I was, because they were letting a lot of reps go, and General has 2 reps in Texas. I thought I wasn't going to make the cut. So I called Charlie and said, if you don't have a rep in Texas, I would love to move to Toronto. And that's when Mike Condor and John Huber stayed in Nashville and started Crown Heads. Shipped the first cigars in 2011.
I will tell you that it was hard being your friend.
I was trying to push those infinities on you guys, the finites. I remember Jerry said, man, if you ever get a box set, buy those. I'm like, Cigar Town has them. And he kind of shut up real quick.
Real quick. Yeah.
Unless I gave you a 50 year. You guys did like the 50 year.
Yes, but...
Anything else, you guys kind of looked at it like...
I was like, yeah, I'll take it in my humidor and I'll age it.
That's going to go in my muchador. Yeah, one thing all cigar reps have is a muchador at their house. Because once everybody knows that you're in the cigar industry, the hands come out. What family members, you name it. Yep. So I keep a humidor too. I got a cabinet, a wine cooler, and my desktop in my office. And then I keep a desktop either in the living room or somewhere else. I call it my muchador. So when I get cigars I'm not going to smoke, I put it in the muchador, and people come over and go, got anything to smoke? I'm like, anything in that humidor? You mean I could have this Macanudo? Knock yourself out. It's yours.
That's what are okay in the morning.
I have my dad's it's my humidor, but it's a little one, and I call it my dad's humidor because the cigars I've given that guy, what do you think of it? It's good. My dad just likes smoking in general, whether it's cigarettes or a cigar. He just likes smoking. And so, I've given him #1 cigars of the year from Cigar Aficionado. Not that rating means anything, but whatever. And then I've given him a 25-cent street rolled Cuban. What'd you think of it? It was good. And I'm just like, I look, and I'm in my head, I'm like, this guy just fucking likes smoking. I go, I respect that. So it's like, I always got to have just, seconds or run up. And yeah. And he's like, you got a cigar for me? I'm like, yeah, I do. Here. And because the amount he ends up actually not getting them off me now, some of his cigars.
Hold on, I want to know for sure.
No, it's
a flight test. Go from the 18, go to the 17, get out your palate. You gotta swish it in your mouth.
Get a little peatiness there.
But tell me,
kind of smells of olive branch.
Olive branch.
A little soggy cardboard.
Soggy. I mean, compared to the 18,
it's peatier.
It's completely different. Profile.
It is completely different.
Completely different profile, and it's only a year apart. Supposedly, I mean,
you get a little potted meat out of that.
You know what though, with Scotch, years, like a year or 2 years, makes a huge difference in Scotch. I think.
Oh yeah.
But the 15 is, I think it's closer to 18,
and it's milder or lighter.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the 15 is closer to 18, and the 17 is to the 18. Personally,
this is smoked more peatier. Yeah, definitely a peatier.
Definitely peatier, but buttery. Man.
Yeah.
Buttery, and that's not as smoky as the 18.
Like I cook eggs in this.
You could.
Get the fuck out. You got any Sprite? Diet Sprite.
Diet Sprite. Okay, you gotta tell the story.
I can't tell it here, man.
No, okay. It's a great story.
Yeah, it's one of those you gotta tell in person.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't translate here.
That's good.
Those who know the Diet Sprite story know what we're talking about.
If you ever meet this guy in person, anyone listening, ask him for the Diet Sprite story. And do not ask him for a free cigar.
Yeah.
Or no. Bring a bottle of Macallan 18. Ask for a free cigar. And then ask for this story. So the story You get a story and a cigar for a bottle of Macallan 18.
There you go. What could be better?
Yeah.
A bottle of 18.
A bottle of 18. Yeah, is that 25? Have a seat. Let me show you my humidor.
Use the box of Toronto's.
Yeah, right.
I like you, but I don't like you that much. Yeah.
Another one from Paul. Are margaritas gay?
Not in Texas.
You know what? When I go out for dinner, I will order the girliest drinks. First off, because they're made properly. And they just they taste good. They taste good.
Can I add to that?
Please.
The frozen margaritas with the frozen margaritas, yes.
On the rocks.
On the rocks,
no.
totally not.
Right.
No.
Unless you get strawberry margaritas on the rocks.
I don't know. And you gotta have one of these days. I'll make you a tamarindo. You know, tamarindo margarita.
Oh, you know what's good?
Phenomenal.
Is a Mexican margarita.
That is Mexican.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yes, it's a tamarindo.
I didn't know the proper name. I'm
it's
sorry.
a tamarind. You know what tamarind is?
Mm-mm.
They have it a lot in Indian cuisine or whatever. But
okay. Yeah. Okay.
you make that instead of the whatever. Dude, phenomenal.
Oh, well, I'm thinking of tequila,
It is tequila.
fresh lime juice,
Yes.
fresh lemon juice,
Yes.
fresh orange juice.
Oh. You got me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. With a little Control or Orange or Grand Marnier topped. Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
That's a tequila sunrise?
No, tequila. What is it? Tequila. Is that rum and orange juice?
Tequila sunrise is
Oh no, that's rum and. What am I saying? It's
No.
it's tequila and pineapple juice, isn't it?
pineapple juice or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
okay
you're
with
right.
sunrises, but no.
Especially when I'm with you.
I mean, wine coolers are like really, really gay.
Hey, don't hate on Zima.
Hey, I will drink a Zima here or there.
I knew the Canadian would.
What?
Hey,
Where's the? I think I see Bartles and James back there.
Okay, coming from the guy that takes shot of like Worcestershire sauce or horseradish.
What's in here sauce?
What's in your sauce?
Yeah. I mean, there's not much I won't do a shot of. Well, let me rephrase that.
Yeah, well, too late.
Yeah, too late.
Don't edit that out.
Will not.
All right, getting back to the margaritas. All right, back to the no. One of my
when it's done
favorite
right
things-
on the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
You know what? The Coronitas with the Corona in the margarita.
Oh yeah, that's.
Dude, you put me in a Chili's. I'm downing those things all fucking night. Honestly,
You have
Dude,
Chili's in Canada?
no, we don't. That's the thing. We don't have these in Canada.
Hey, is the quarter pounder with cheese called a Royale with cheese in Canada?
No, quarter pounder.
Because of the the fucked up metric system. I swear to God.
No, that's you know what, and I mean I blame that on McDonald's now for not converting that for us. What do we got? Mike Tyson versus Rocky Balboa. Who wins? That's from Ink Ginger. Josh.
Josh, what the hell's wrong with you, man?
What kind of question is that?
Yeah, it was
Mike Tyson in his prime?
Mike Tyson is prime 100%.
Destroys him.
Destroys him.
Yeah.
Destroys him.
I mean,
Fictional versus real? Come on.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I mean Mike Tyson in his prime was unstoppable.
You know what he's into now? He's got a wheat farm.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like high-end wheat farm. And this is doing his thing, whatever, but geez, man, he's gone through a lot of shit. And he actually did a podcast with Joe Rogan. It was pretty
Yes.
it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. That one and the Travis Barker one, fantastic.
I never saw the Travis Barker one, but did you see the Jake the Snake Roberts and Joe Rogan? He was talking. It was about Randy Savage, when Randy Savage and Jake the Snake were together when they were still wrestling. And it's on Joe Rogan's Instagram. And Macho Man's like, Jake, you got to get the snake to bite me get it to bite you once, brother. Get it to bite you once, and I'm not going to get you the anti-venom. And he goes off. Jake goes off on this whole rant about how the snake, like how he wanted to bite him. So he let the snake bite him. And he's like, so you're not going to die? And it literally went on for 5 minutes. This guy thought you were going to die. And he's like, no, the snake bites me, and that's it. Like that's and yeah, it's so random.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you got to watch. You can't. Yeah, I did a horrible impersonation, and yeah,
I wasn't going to say anything.
I know it was bad.
I'm sorry.
A boot. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, I'm not drunk enough.
Yeah, you're not. I can tell. I can totally tell you're not.
I'll start saying a more, and I'll say sorry, and I'll say a boot.
And yeah, like you say, yeah, like yeah, yeah.
A few of the guys that I talk to regularly wanted to start placing over/under bets on how many yeahs I would say in an episode.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah, you should do it.
I should do it.
You should play Canadian bingo. Every time he does a Canadian thing, you...
Yeah.
Bingo, eh?
For sure, man. So,
Peanut butter M&M or Reese's Pieces?
M&M's.
M&M's or Reese's Pieces?
Peanut M&M's. Or almond M&M's.
No, he said peanut M&M's and Reese's Pieces.
Peanut.
Peanut for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever
Oh, here we go.
on your drive home, tomorrow,
I'm nervous now.
pick up a bag of Reese's M&M Reese's peanut butter while you're smoking a cigar?
Really?
Try that.
Okay.
Tell me.
Reese's Pieces while smoking a cigar.
Yeah, just pop some chocolate.
Chocolate and peanut butter in a cigar. Any particular cigar should be smoking? Anyone.
Anyone. Just
Okay.
try it.
Or Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Pepper's always a good pairing.
It actually is, yeah.
Yeah.
Try it. We'll end with that note.
You want to end with that note?
We'll end with that note. We got about an hour, a little over an hour in.
All right. I was just...
I think.
Unless there's another...
Well, you seem like you really want to ask a question.
I mean...
Just ask it.
Okay. That's not even that good. Yeah. Some of them are more directed just for me. Like the guy Tommy wants to do a...
Show me your dick.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're confusing
I'm not
your
in,
personal with this show.
I'm not in my DMs.
Oh, I thought you were in your DMs. That's what you're looking.
No, this one Tommy wants to do a show live from a Buffalo Bills tailgate.
Oh, there you go.
That's not a bad idea.
We should do one from a Cowboys tailgate.
And then he hinted at me he has 4 seats.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's...
So I just need 2 other friends.
I got points.
I have points. I have points.
You have points?
I have over 1 million Hilton points.
No, J-Dub used his up this year, so J-Dub's out.
And you don't like to fly, so you don't want to go.
Oh. Have you told Brian what I got you getting yourself into?
Of all the things you got him into, which one are you talking about?
I got him getting on an airplane for 5 hours soon.
Yeah, I gotta go to Baltimore.
Oh.
Just to meet up with this guy. And 10 other guys. Doesn't sound...
Well, you know, what you like is what you like. You know, I'm not here to judge.
And to top it off, to make it even sound more gayer, whatever. It's at a ski chalet.
Chalet.
I don't know what that is.
You're about to find out. Yeah, it does.
Chalet.
J-Dub, here it is. That's how you ski.
You're doing 2 at once.
I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing.
You don't, but you will know.
That's how you ski. You got a pole in each hand.
You can quit while you're behind. You're gonna do this. I'm pulling each hand. Yeah, whatever.
I'll try anything 3 times.
3 times.
Well, with that said, thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much for having me,
Yeah,
guys.
Brian, thank you for your time.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much. Cheers.
Appreciate everything, and thank you for stopping by. We got to do this again.
Yes,
we
thanks
gotta
for
do
having
with
me.
stories though, because you got the best stories, funniest stories, and
I'll have to figure out how to do the Diet Sprite on camera.
Diet Sprite on camera. Yeah, because you need a little bit of space.
Yeah.
Definitely for sure. But if you do see him, ask him about the Diet Sprite. So I appreciate everyone listening in.
Support Crown Heads.
Crown Heads,
Please,
for sure.
smoke all you can. We'll make more.
Solid cigars. Solid every time. Every time. Solid cigars.
Thank you guys. Everything.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.